it already seems that we are running through a scientific fiction movie with the type of topics that we have already discussed. It is a wonderful, I would rather congratulate Dr. Vijay Agarwal and the team of organizers to looking forward to one of the very important topics like digital transformation in healthcare nowadays. I'm a neurosurgeon by profession and a great proponent of use of technology in healthcare. Earlier, it used to be when we were studying that man behind the machine was important. But now is the time when machine behind the man, it has become important. Now, as a clinician, our results are improving because we are using machines, we are using better technology, we are using artificial intelligence in our diagnosis, in our prediction of diagnosis, management protocols, and predicting prognosis in patients. Just based on this, our next topic for discussion is role of artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things, and what is the future for them. Since many of us would not be really sure about how it is being done nowadays, I'll just give a brief about that. Artificial intelligence is not just one technology, but it is a collection of multiple of them. It simplifies the lives of doctors, patients, and hospital administrators by performing tasks that are typically done by human beings, but in lesser time, in much more accurate fashion, and in a fraction of the cost. And the key categories nowadays of its applications, it involves diagnosis and treatment recommendations and administrative activities in addition. For a brief about Internet of Things, it is a system of interrelated computing devices, mechanical or digital machines. It could be objects or people, but they could be provided a unique ID and ability to transfer data over a network without requiring human to human or human to computer interaction. So looking forward to a very wonderful session now. I would invite Dr. Mudit Dandwante, who is a co-founder and CEO for DOSI. He is a mechanical engineer by education, and he graduated from IIT Mumbai in 2013. And before starting DOSI, he worked as a vehicle dynamics expert at Entire Technologies. In 2015, he co-founded DOSI with Gaurav in IIT Indore, Illinois. Mudit has been recognized as Forbes 30 under 30 along with multiple others at DOSI and has got multiple awards to his credit. Over to you, Mudit, for a wonderful talk, which we are looking forward.
Thanks a lot, Doctor. Looking forward to the session. I think I was hearing the session we had spoken. So we were hearing about patient safety and, what can be the role of automation, digitization, and AI in ensuring that, the patient safety is at the paramount in healthcare services. At DOSI, what we have created is a contactless remote patient monitor and early warning system that in a contactless fashion converts any bed into a step-down ICU without need of any wires or electrodes, and it collects all of this information at a fraction of a cost and automates it, and then gives all this data remotely on a central remote patient monitoring platform where nurses and doctors can view it remotely, and also it monitors, the AI engine monitors all of this data continuously, and if there are any kind of trends which are concerning, it flags it, the AI engine flags it, and these rising trends, falling trends which are there, are given to the clinician so that they can take care early, and early interventions do save lives, right? So that is what DOSI does. Currently, we are working with more than 300 hospitals across the country, and we are present in more than 7,500 patient beds, both in public as well as private sector, looking to transform how the healthcare is delivered. As I mentioned, DOSI's vision is to make healthcare accessible to every bed present in more than 300 hospitals. We convert any bed into a step-down ICU within minutes at a fraction of a cost. Even before I begin, I would like to start with a video. So there's a small impact study that we had done. It has been done by an independent research agency called Satwa to see what is the impact of automating this patient monitoring, right? Which typically a nurse will go and do manually. But with DOSI, when we are automating it along with AI, what is the impact that it can have? So I'll just play this clip.
It's time to unlock the power of connected healthcare in India. According to social impact consultancy Sattva, India can save rupees 2,200 crore annually by upgrading hospital beds to connected beds. The country faces an acute shortage in resources. While WHO recommends one nurse for every 300 people, India has only one nurse for every 670. We have just 5 beds per 10,000 people and merely 50% of the required ICU beds capacity. The truth is, our public healthcare infrastructure urgently needs a technology-driven transformation. That's where DOSI comes in. DOSI is a contactless, remote patient monitoring and early warning system. A truly made-in-India innovation that upgrades any bed into a step-down ICU within minutes. The DOSI sensor sheet is placed below the patient's mattress to capture the vitals. The information can be remotely viewed by the clinicians through a central command center and mobile apps. DOSI's AI-powered early warning system enables timely alerts for early intervention. Sattva's independent study observes that DOSI reduces hospital stays by 1.3 days per patient, and nurses spend 80% lesser time in monitoring patient vitals, helping them save 2.5 hours at work every day. According to Sattva's study, 100 DOSI beds can save potentially 144 lives every year and deliver 26% cost savings in ICUs. Cumulatively, it saves rupees 2.7 crore per year per 100 beds. While doubling the critical care infrastructure of India, the technology will save India's public healthcare system a whopping 2,200 crore rupees annually and rupees 11,000 crore in the next 5 years, transforming the public healthcare and setting a new global benchmark, one DOSI bed at a time.
Yeah, so I think moving on, so I touched upon the fact that, there is a big deficiency in terms of number of beds, nurses, hospitals, as well as ICU beds. And so while that is there, we have about 1.8 million beds which are regularly being monitored by nurses manually. And more often than not, we have seen that, these manual spot checks have their own limitations while they are necessary. So we have seen that it generally doesn't capture the deterioration of the patients in the wards because only 2% of the time is being covered over there. There is a delayed intervention because generally, typically, you're getting only one data point every 4 to 6 hours. And because of that, the detrimental effects, events in general wards are common and which are even avoidable as well. And they are pretty common, right? 73% of patients who died in hospital were not admitted to critical care at any stage after surgery, according to reports and the studies which have been conducted. So that brings me to a very important question that, what exactly is the barrier to bring connected health to every bed? So doing our assessment, we found that, typically, while at one spectrum we have nursing, the other spectrum which is there is like ICU, right? So what if we have to actually bring ICU monitors to every bed? What will it take, right? It is very high capex. Secondly, there is very high operational cost also involved. It is very involved, technically challenging. It compromises the patient experience over there. It makes the alarm fatigue and gives a very ill experience. While these are, things which are pertaining to why we can't bring an ICU grade monitor to every bed, there is also things like data security, integrations, and then at the same time, we don't have 1:1 nurse to patient ratio. So who is exactly monitoring the monitors itself? And that's exactly where, we developed this DOSI system, which does this in non-ICU wards continuously, remotely, without touching the patient, thereby making nursing more efficient by making it continuous as well as remote. It reduces human error because it is automating the entire vitals tracking. It affects early intervention with minute-on-minute monitoring. It improves patient experience as well because it is doing this in a contactless manner. And it also reduces cost, right, by reducing the average length of stay inside ICU. And moreover, right, with early warning system, it also improves the patient safety as well. So Dozy, any bed plus Dozy is a step down ICU with its kind of industry leading non-contact blood pressure feature. In a contactless manner, it monitors heart rate, respiration, non-contact blood pressure, heart rate variability, sleep apnea, and things like that with clinical grade accuracy. At the same time, it is also extensible to other parameters as well using the extensible probes which can be attached to Dozy, so with temperature, NIDP, and so on. So while our researchers are also working towards making it wireless and contactless as well. The way it works is that it uses ballistocardiography. Ballistocardiography stands for monitoring of force or vibration to study heart. So once the sensor sheet is placed under the mattress, it is monitoring vibration produced in every heartbeat, every respiration cycle, and so on. And then AI is converting it into different biomarkers. This is patented technology. The accuracy and efficacy is also published in different journals. And it is also ready for different integrations as well, following all the global standards like ISO 27001 and so on as well, right? So it is easily integrable with hospital HIS systems and all. One of the most important features of Dozy is actually the alerts and the early warning system. So while Dozy does enable, early warning system in terms of which can be adopted to any hospital's system, be it News, Muse, right, Q Sofa, and all of that, depending upon which ward it is being used at. But at the same time, it also gives AI-based, trend-based alerts as well, which are kind of soft alerts. And these are more preemptive. These are entirely configurable, customizable, and also integrable to the hospital's HIS systems as well. And this is how it works and impacts at scale. So it brings every hospital bed on like a war room kind of a setup. It gets everything on in an accessible range for the nurses and doctors as well, in an integrable way. I did speak about that. What is the impact of Dozy? It reduces the time taken by nurses to capture vitals by almost 80%, reduces ICU A loss, improves patient safety. So it has been proven to save 144 lives for every 100 Dozy beds, and also saves cost for hospitals as well, and even the patients as well, right? So it reduces the bills over there, making it more accessible, saves nearly 2.5 crores for every 100 Dozy beds which are put out there. So currently we are operational in more than 300 hospitals across more than 7,500 hospital beds, monitored more than 125,000 patients, and saved more than 200,000 nursing hours as well in the process. Worked with both public as well as private settings as well. So there are multiple examples of that. One of the high points of Dozy was also when we got a chance to work with Indian Army, where we were tasked to upgrade the SVVP COVID center. In a matter of 3 days, we upgraded more than 300 hospital beds to continuously monitored beds, working with them. And now, kind of reaching the end of my presentation, and what I wanted to share, that is also not just restricted to hospitals per se, but also we have a home care device as well, which is a smaller form factor device of a similar technology, which is being used for elder care, post-operative care, chronic care management, sleep apnea, and so on as well, right? So this is how we are changing the healthcare one Dozy bed at a time, and the mission on which we are to improve patient safety, right? Ensuring that patient safety is paramount and it reaches every patient bed. And that's where we are working towards at Dozy as well. So thanks a lot for the opportunity. And this was really wonderful listening to the speakers before me, and looking forward to working with you more closely. Thank you.
Thank you, Mudit. Question and two before we go on to the next talk. First is, what is the size of this Dozy bed that goes over the mattress and under the sheet?
So it goes under the mattress, sir. So not even under the sheet.
So it goes under the
yes.
Okay. Now, next question is that normally we use that alpha bed or the air mattress. Does it interfere with the signal received by the?
No, sir. So only constraint is that, so Dozy, since it monitors vibration, So the compressor should not be put on the bed. That's it. But it does work perfectly with the alpha bed. We have tested with that. So all the commercially available beds which are used, because typically neuro patients, with stroke patients and so on, hospitals do use these beds. So we have tested it with it and it works perfectly. All right.
And my last question would be that, like many of these neuro patients, they have issues like bedwetting and all these stuff. So does that interfere with the collection of the data and its interpretation?
Not at all, sir. In fact, it works beautifully for neuro. In fact, neuro is one of the very strong use cases. There's a big uptake for that neuro, onco for hematology patients and so on. We have seen big uptakes from the hospitals.
And depending upon the position of the patient, again, there is no interference in the data. So patient could be supine or lateral.
Yeah. So posture doesn't matter at all. Across all the postures, it works. So that basically we have achieved by training data sets across more than 2 lakh patients data sets, working with likes of Apollo's, AIMS, Jaydeva, and so on, right? So it has been passed all those tests which are there.
Okay. Thank you, Mudit.